to the welcome to the January 16, 2024 PACO General Membership Meeting. I do have a few announcements to share with you. First of all, if you have considered advancing your career, the OSBA Certified Paralegal Exam registration is now open. That's on the OSBA's website. The registration process is open through March the 31st. The examination is scheduled for Saturday, March the 18th. So give that some thought if you'd like to improve your marketability and advance your career. Maybe get that fancy new job that you've had your eye on. And don't forget that PACO is in the process where we've already begun, but it's not too late to get started. We are having a virtual study group that is being led by Randy Daniels Blair, and they are meeting currently about once a month, and that is by Zoom. As the exam gets closer, I understand that schedule will increase, and some of these sessions might even be in person. Each session covers a variety of different topics, so it's always something new. So give that a thought. Also, we are getting ready to host our first happy hour of 2024. That will take place on Thursday, February the 8th from 6 to 8 p.m. We're going to be up at Getaway Brewing, which is up in Dublin at 108 North High Street. All of these details are on the website. We are going to combine our happy hour with a bit of a kickoff for the statewide food drive, the statewide alliance food drive, which is happening again this year, the entire month of February, from February 1st through February 29th. We will have donate collection boxes at the happy hour at Getaway Brewing. And you feel free, please bring your non-perishable food items to contribute to that food drive. And just a little special incentive, the first 10 paralegals who arrive at our happy hour with 10 or more non-perishable food items to donate will receive one ticket for one free drink during that evening. Paralegal Day is coming May 20th. You don't want to miss it. I can't wait to announce our keynote speaker for this year. We are so pleased. I think you're going to be really, it's going to be really exciting, and that information will be coming, but keep that on your calendar and look for more information. Oh, let's see. Also, with regard to the food drive, we are looking for firms to serve as collection points, collection sites for our non-perishable food items. If your firm or legal department is interested, if they would be willing to serve as a collection site, we will bring a box that is being provided by Mid-Ohio Food Bank. And I should mention that as last year, all of the food items that we collect will be donated to Mid-Ohio Food Bank. And there will soon be a QR code on our website that will allow you to go directly to Mid-Ohio Food Bank's website and make a financial donation if you choose to do so on our behalf. And Mid-Ohio will collect that money directly, and they will provide you your tax receipt for that. So that is another way that you and your firm can be involved. I would encourage you to please let your firm and your colleagues know that we're doing this, and encourage them to donate either a monetary gift or any non-perishable food items would be wonderful as well. But back to the collection sites, if you're willing to serve as a collection site, we will bring to you a box and signage indicating what the collection is for. And we would just ask that at the end of the month, you bring the food items you've collected to a central collection site, which hasn't yet been established. So we'll have more information coming on that. Very excited to participate again this year. My understanding is that the Cleveland Association of Paralegals, the Cincinnati Paralegal Association, and the Northwestern Ohio Paralegal Association are all three going to be holding concurrent food drives that will benefit the people of their own local neighborhoods and communities. Maybe a little friendly competition to see which paralegal association can collect the most food items, but we all will be winners regardless of who collects more. We'll all be winners as we help the people in our communities with food insecurity and hunger this season. The last announcement that I want to make, PACO is we are looking to expand our social media presence on Facebook and on LinkedIn. We are looking for someone who would be willing to serve as a coordinator of sorts. And we will provide the content to be posted, but we're looking for someone to post the content onto our social media and help us be more interactive with social media. So if you have an interest in that, if that is something that's up your alley, please reach out. We would love to know that you are interested, and we'll talk more after you have reached out. I think that will do it for our announcements. So let's get right to this. Today, we are pleased to have with us Jesse Flores. Jesse is a U.S. Navy veteran. He has 23 years of IT and legal experience. Currently, he serves as the Senior Technical Sales Lead for Trial Tech Support, LLC, based out of Houston, where he coordinates with clients to optimize trial tech services to better accommodate their needs and identify areas where trial techs and highly professional staff can augment law firms and assist them by allowing them to focus solely on their trial instead of the support logistics. Jesse has a myriad of IT expertise, has served in IT roles at various levels. Specifically, Jesse has served clients as a desktop support technician, identifying, analyzing, and correcting network, workstation, and printer issues. My favorite person on the planet. Anybody who can help with IT issues like that is just tops. He continued his career serving as a server administrator, information security specialist, IT auditor, and IT supervisor before turning to IT technical sales, where his love of service and people have made him proud to be a part of trial tech support. Jesse has a bachelor's of business administration in computer information systems and a master's degree in security management. Jesse currently lives in Houston with his wife, Lisa, and their two daughters, Isabella and Layla. Jesse, I will give the floor to you.
Thank you, everyone, for such a warm welcome. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I am pleased to say that we also have in attendance our managing partner, David Nguyen, who is attending the call and will be able to answer questions at the end for a quick Q&A session. So I'm pleased to say he's in attendance as well. Trial Tech Support is a great organization. I'm proud to be a part of it. And let me get right to it. So I really feel that Trial Tech Support provides solid trial experience, specifically in the means that all of our technicians and our core team each has 15 plus years trial experience. We have on our team network and support engineers, as well as experienced graphics and hot seat operators. And although we are based in Houston, Texas, we do and have supported trials nationwide. When I mention a full service trial support, what exactly that means is that we offer pre-trial logistics. Specifically, one of the things we offer is a no-cost hotel research and negotiation service. And one of the reasons why we offer that specifically is because we want to make sure that we want to earn your business. And we feel like by offering this service, you'll see the level of detail and how our experience can benefit you. When you are looking for hotels and doing the research, you want to make sure that you are asking the right types of questions. You want to make sure that the IT infrastructure is capable of supporting the IT needs of your trial. You want to make sure that they have the correct number of rooms for your personnel. You want to make sure that they offer war rooms and suites for VIPs. As well as one thing that people don't think about asking very often is the opposing counsel staying at the same location? As many of you know, as many of you know, very often trials are in small towns where there is not a lot of selection. So by having experienced personnel asking the right questions and looking for and doing the correct research, you'll ensure that your trial starts off in a great way. Additionally, we do offer war room setups. We do offer on-site IT plus support, and I will also get into more detail as to what that entails. We offer post-trial teardown, hardware rentals, as well as I mentioned, trial graphics and hot seat operators. So pre-trial logistics is one of the most important parts of any trial, as you all well know. We want to make sure that we identify the specific support needs that each law firm requires. We want to make sure that we confirm the technology and capability of the trial location. Very often, depending upon the trial, you'll find that some hotels have on-site IT personnel, whereas some hotels do not. They just have, an ISP, internet service provider. So in each instance, we want to make sure that we configure the network, a secure network, that we make sure that we organize the network so that only your firm is on the network. We don't use the hotel's Wi-Fi for your VPN, and we make sure that your VPN works specifically on the network prior to our departure. We make sure that we determine whether or not a static or DHCP dedicated VLAN is required, and we check all the different technology needs. And one of the things we do is work with everyone's budget. So for instance, some firms like for us to do just the hardware rental. Some firms like us to do the on-site setup and teardown, and some firms prefer us to do the concierge service, which is a full service IT, including the non-technical needs. One of the things we conduct is a recon visit. A great example of how having an experienced IT professional do your recon visit is important is a trial that we conducted in New Orleans, Louisiana, was a 10-week arbitration trial that required 2 war rooms and an arbitration room. Well, the hotel was going to charge $7,000 a week for each room's internet service. By having an experienced technician there, that was basically $21,000 a week for 10 weeks, $210,000. By having an experienced IT technician there, we offered a secure 5G MiFi solution that provided internet service there that saved the client and the law firm $210,000. And that's one of the things that sets us apart from other organizations. You're going to get an experienced professional who knows what they're doing, not someone who is new to law firms and trials and how they operate. Additionally, we do identify courtroom and courthouse breakout rooms and internet and technology needs. And why I set that apart is, as you know, every courthouse is different, every trial is different. So a great example is we had a small trial in Tilden, Texas, where there was nothing in the town except for the courthouse. The closest hotel was 30 minutes away, so that was suitable to our needs. So we were able to coordinate with a local RV park that had a decent lobby where the lawyers could meet and congregate for lunch and discuss the trial. So having a recon visit and experienced trial IT professionals, that's the kind of service that you're going to get. And we pride ourselves on working and thinking outside of the box and finding solutions to your needs. Let's see. So additionally, we are embedded in the trial facilities throughout the organization, so throughout the nation. So very often we can coordinate local and copy rentals. We outsource copy service and provide paper shredding, as well as are able to source local caterers and other vendors so that you don't have to worry about those sort of items and you can better serve your client. In the war room setup, one of the things we want to make sure, and I've mentioned it many times, is that we configure and extend our secure network, including to your VIP and partners rooms. A great example for this is we had a trial in Phoenix, Arizona, where we were actually able to work with the IT staff so that the secure network was available throughout the entire hotel. So whether your attorneys were working in their rooms, whether they're working in the war room, in the lobby, in the conference room, in the bar, wherever it was, that secure network was able to be configured to be available throughout the entire hotel. And again, that goes back to speaking to the experience of our team members. Additionally, we offer workstation setup in the war rooms and at courthouse breakout rooms, where we connect laptops to networks and copiers and set up office supplies. So I'm going to get into a little bit more about that, what that entails during our IT plus support. So IT support plus, what exactly does that mean and why is that important? Well, you're going to get a first level technician with many years of experience. And very often at trial, you'll have the IT support, and then you'll have a concierge service who handles the non-technical needs. One of the things we offer that sets us apart, I feel, is that our IT personnel are also and can be your concierge support. So instead of having to pay for the additional personnel to handle non-technical issues, your IT technician is the insurance policy to make sure everything runs smoothly. But while he's there as your insurance policy, he or she is there to also take care of any non-technical issues so that you're getting the most bang for your buck and not having an IT person sit there just in case something goes wrong. You want to have the IT person there so you have instantaneous service, but you want to get the most use out of them as well. So each of our technicians also has done such things as dropped off dry cleaning, they've restocked supplies, they've assisted with transportation for your subject matter experts and your VIPs. So a great example of this is the trial I mentioned in Tilden, and then trials we've conducted in Marshall, Texas as well. That our technicians we pride ourselves on servicing our client in a situation where we are in the room, we're listening to your needs, and we're anticipating your needs. So anything that you mentioned from, hey, I need this piece of equipment, I don't know where we can locate one, we jump on it and say, hey, that's something that we can do so you can focus on other things. Those are the types of things that we always strive to make sure that we do. Additionally, post-trial teardown. Now, think about it. Why is that important? It seems like such a simple thing, but very often trials move quickly, and when things are over, each of your personnel want to focus on either the next trial or getting back to their families. So one of the services we offer is not just breaking down the equipment that we offered and that we rented, but also packing up the equipment that you had shipped. We get there a few days ahead of time. We welcome any shipments that you offer. Our concierge service provides the setup coordination with your team so that that's one less thing you have to worry about. That also takes place during the post-trial teardown, so that after the trial's over, after you leave, that's one less thing you have to worry about, and we can actually break all that down, pack it up for you, and send it back to your location. Our hardware rental, we do offer a trial box, which consists of a 1 gig router with a firewall, switch, and access points. And again, we use that to make sure that your network while you're at trial is a secure network. Our workstations include 27 and 32-inch monitors, keyboards, mice, cables, the works. And where that's different is most other organizations that do what we do only offer 22-inch and 24-inch monitors. Ours are higher quality, the newest and latest and greatest equipment. So you're getting 27 to 32-inch monitors versus the 22 and 24 smaller monitors. And we do offer coordination of copiers. We do have desktop and color printers. We do have docking stations, USB-C docking stations, paper shredders. And again, like I said, we do offer in-courtroom AV setup. So we do have, 55, 65, 75-inch televisions that we get to your location and set up prior to the trial beginning so that your trial attorneys have a great presentation capabilities. For those who prefer a more old school method, we do have whiteboards and easels, as well as a 360 webcam. I don't know if y'all are familiar with those. Those are the webcams that whoever's speaking, it rotates to the person speaking. And what that's great for is during teleconferences, presentations, or arbitrations, it's a great tool should you need it. Last but not one of the things we do is hot seat and graphics. We do have in-house support for that. But if our personnel are busy, we are partnered throughout the nation and support hot seat and graphics throughout the nation through our partners and our partnerships. So that's another service we offer. And then some of our most recent trials have taken place in Little Rock, Tilden, San Jose, Phoenix, New Orleans, Los Angeles, Reno, as well as the Eastern and Western districts of Texas. Some of our upcoming trials are in Birmingham, District of Columbia, Marshall, Texas, and the Northern District of California. With that, I want to thank you for having me, and I would open it up to questions. And again, whatever you would like, we'd be happy to assist you in any way possible. Thank you. Are there any questions? Oh, there's David. Hey, David.
I wonder if you offer service assistance in services such as trial exhibits, the big blow up posters and things like that.
Hi, this is David Nguyen. Thank you again for having us speak about our services today. To answer your question, we don't do that in-house, but we have partners all over the nation that does blow-ups and things like that for you.
Okay.
In addition to binders and things like that, pre-trial binders, making and shipping to wherever you need them to go, and also binders creation during trial.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Jesse, it's Lori. I had a question. If you provide any support to something like bug sweeping or counterintelligence surveillance measures, technical countermeasures.
Yeah, so this is David again.
Hi, David.
So we had that one request about a month ago for a trial that was going to happen in a small little town in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And, we haven't done that before, but we were already planning to acquire all the equipment necessary to do so until that case settled. So we didn't get to do it, but we haven't had, that was like a one-off request, and it's kind of ironic that you asked that now, but yeah, we were planning that already. We just didn't get a chance to actually do it at that time.
That's too bad. It's probably good training. Yeah, I can imagine some
Right.
cases. Some cases get a little squirrely these days.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, David likes to say, there's no request that if we can't do it, we definitely can source that through our partnerships throughout the nation because, like I said, each of us has been in the IT legal industry for over 15 plus years each. So if we don't offer that service, we definitely can source that for you because of our experience within the industry.
I really appreciate that you stretch the talents of your IT team and keep them busy. Because I've seen many times people just waiting for something to happen. So that's
No,
thank you.
not at all. In fact, I think as a senior technician, that's one of the things I ensure when I talk to the other technicians is make yourself useful as much as possible. Jump in and help the team. One team, one fight. I learned that in the military is,
As I name
yeah. Yeah, one team, one
Yeah.
fight. So, in the Navy, you don't have the luxury of having one person able to do one job all the time. And, I bring that with that mentality with me wherever I go, is that, there's no job that is just one person's job. We all jump in to help each other so that we can all better service our clients and better service each other. So that makes a better team.
That's great. I'll be looking for you on LinkedIn.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. That's me over.
Okay. Anyone else?
I was intrigued by something that you said earlier that I had never given a lot of thought to, and the issue of is opposing counsel staying in the same hotel. Can you expand on why that might be an issue and the issues that might come up if that's the case, and the steps you might want to take to safeguard your defense and your strategies and everything that you're doing?
Oh, absolutely. So one of the things we like to practice is clean desk procedures. We want to make sure that when everything is closed down for the night, that all, like one of the things we offer, as we talked about shredding, for instance. We have shredding on, like we actually bring a shredder with us whenever we go, and our concierge service at the end of the night collects all the shredding and make sure that's taken care of at the end. To make sure that there are no loose documents lying around that in the trash or in the bins, things such as of that nature. One of the things we want to make sure, the biggest thing is that your network is secure, that you're not using the hotel's Wi-Fi, and that you're on VPN. So for instance, in Tilden, we have that MiFi solution that it depends on which telecommunication company is the strongest we base on. So our MiFi solution has AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. So whichever one is most strong, we use that. So you're not forced to rely on the hotel's Wi-Fi, which is open to anyone who can hop on. So that's one that makes us different, is that we don't use the hotel's Wi-Fi. We do secure safety procedures. We talk to hotel staff about housekeeping and arrange housekeeping so that it only comes during certain times of the day. What are some of the other things we do to secure related? Transportation. One of the things we do is when we talk about transportation, that we make sure that whoever is doing the transportation understands that the things that, we like to mention, hey, the staff member is not a part of the firm, is not a part of our staff. It's maybe the hotel staff. So you might want to be careful what you're talking about during that time frame. Things like that, discussions, you don't want to talk about sensitive stuff in the lobby of the hotel. Those are the kinds of things we try and do our best to ensure that aren't taking place.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey.
and to add to that, so our clients in the past have always been very careful not to be in the same hotel as opposing counsel for all the obvious reasons, but also, due to, people just overhearing each other in conversations in the lobby or in the restaurants and whatnot. Most recently, there was a client that we signed on for they were booked at a hotel in Marshall, Texas already, but then we were separately contacted by another firm, which turns out to be opposing counsel for the same trial. And in speaking with them, I discovered that they were both booked at the same hotel. And so I informed each one of them immediately, and one of them immediately started looking for a different venue. So most firms are very careful not to be in the same hotel. I think, just historically, it's just not a good thing to do, I guess. And we have discovered that in the past. And so we put that in our presentation where we, basically help them to not be in the same hotel, if that makes sense.
Lori was just getting ready to ask if you'd ever been hired by both sides of the same case.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, that same trial in Marshall coming up here, we are able to do that only because one side only wanted monitor from us, wanted to rent monitors. If they both wanted to hire us, like full support, full service support, where we set up the network and maybe privy to, confidential information, then that would be a conflict. We would not be able to take that job because of the conflict. But in this case, one side only wanted to rent monitor, which we're just gonna drop off for them. It's not an issue. So yeah, we don't service both sides if it's like full service situations.
First
Okay.
come, first serve, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we run conflicts before taking on every single client. We ask for the a copy of the complaint and opposing counsel information, things like that. So we make sure we're not working on a different case with the same firm or something that may pose a conflict.
Good to know. What about, I know that and from my understanding, it sounded like, you provide the monitors and the TVs and everything you need to do your presentation. Does that transfer into, for example, hooking into the trial court's presentation software and their screens and getting exhibits and presentations up on the monitors in the courtroom? Or is
So
that
most of the
just for prep and rehearsal type things?
So we do have situations where we're hired to set up the AV equipment in the courthouse. And so the equipment that we set up is typically everything except for the laptop that the firm would have that provide where they display or present their case or their information using OnCue, Child Director, or whatever else they do. We will set up like things like the TV, external speakers, monitors, and hook everything up, ready for them to connect their laptop to and present what they need to present.
Okay,
Now,
thank you.
if you're talking about the hot seat operators, like David said, we do offer that service as well. And then we just want to make sure that as far as what the presentation is, if you hire our hot seat operators, they'll of course work with the attorneys for that during trial.
Are you strictly US based, or have you gone to other places, maybe the Caribbean or Canada, to support a US firm?
So we had a couple of requests in the past, which were, our passports are ready to go, which has never had the
Absolutely.
opportunity to go outside the nation just yet.
Okay, but it's good to know you would support. Yeah,
Right, exactly. If a US-based firm, hires to go with them somewhere, yeah, we're definitely willing to do that, obviously. Yeah.
great.
Some of our clients do include international law firms. So we have supported international law firms. We just haven't been hired to go out of the country yet, but we have supported law firms that are international.
Mhm. I don't want to hog the session, but I have one last question. What does your shipment look like? Are you in some kind of container? Are you in a Pelican case? Do you have I mean, Jesse would know, like an ISU 90, something like that. How do you ship everything out?
Variety of ways. We do have Pelican cases. We do have, like our equipment comes with the original boxes, and we use that until it gets destroyed, basically. um, but we have a international global logistic company that we use for shipping a larger amount of hardware that is less expensive than going with UPS or FedEx. And so we use them quite often, but there are times when smaller jobs we would use UPS, or last minute jobs we would have to use something overnight. But typically we haven't had damages, things like that yet.
Thanks so much, David.
You're welcome.
Questions from anybody else? Quiet group.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, if there's anything else that you gentlemen would like to go ahead and throw in there, well, feel free. We've still got some time, um, and you're welcome to use that time if you'd like.
Well, the only thing I'd like to stress is that one of the things that for me really sets us apart is that we cater to what the client needs. As we can do as much or as little as required. And I think that plus our experience level makes all the difference in the world, and the fact that we're willing to do whatever the client requires to be successful. David?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone again for allowing us to come on here and talk about our services. For any upcoming trials, please, we would love to give you a competing bid. If, you have other vendors that you work with, you'll find our prices, pretty attractive, I think. And, and you're getting the best service, I think, in the industry regarding with our experiences and what we've seen over the years with different trial situations and things like that. And our willingness to, of course, think outside the box and being there on site to support you with technical issues, but of course with any concierge services as well.
Okay, great. Lori did have a question. She asked if you had ever serviced any companies out of Ohio.
Let's see. Actually, we did. In late November into December, we were contacted by a firm that had a case in San Jose, California. So we were able to help them with that, and Ohio. And so it's like a last minute, they call us on a Tuesday during Thanksgiving week, asking for
Oh,
help
my.
with like a 12-person. Yeah, exactly, for a 12-person team with a trial in San Jose, California. And so I asked them, okay, so when does the trial start? And they said the warrant setup's that Sunday. So they call
Oh,
us on the
goodness.
Tuesday, Thanksgiving week, and we were in California that Sunday to set everything up. So that was exciting.
Oh, goodness. Now, what kinds of cases do you guys traditionally work on? I mean, I imagine you'll work on anything that, client wants, but do they tend to be, medical malpractice, maybe
Yeah, so being in
other,
Houston, yeah. So being in Houston, we get a lot of energy trials litigation, a lot of oil
okay,
and gas, a lot of oil and gas, and we do get some malpractice, but a variety of situations, but pretty much any litigation trials, obviously. We have one where it was a criminal trial in Birmingham coming up. And so that's our first, I think, criminal trial that we've been involved with. But pretty much anything that involves a war room, some support, we're not picky.
Yeah, we do get a lot of intellectual property stuff as well.
okay,
Being so close to the IT hub of Austin, a lot of intellectual property stuff is taken care of out of Marshall. So we do get also a lot of intellectual property into. I'll with having my boss on the line, I'll throw him some kudos as well. One of the things we pride ourselves on is our response. David mentioned the fact that someone reached out to him right before Thanksgiving. David responds to emails and phone calls very quickly. So a great example is right before New Year's hit, we had a client reach out Christmas Eve for a trial in New York City on New Year's Day. They wanted us to fly out on New Year's Day and be there and set up their printers and copiers in New York in a hotel on New Year's Day. And David got the quote back to them the same day. So, that's what keeps our business flowing. David understands the importance of a quick response, especially when you're under a timeline. So, even if it's short notice, of course, the more time we have, the better we can service our client. but David prides himself on a quick, rapid response with quotes and stuff. So I've seen him turn around a quote in a day or the same day. Please reach out, and we'd be glad to service you.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, here's a question. Do you have in-house travel agents, or do you arrange the flight logistics yourself? And I'm
actually
I'm guessing, Kim, that you're asking travel arrangements for the attorneys or to get their technicians and their equipment to where they need to be. The technicians, okay.
we do all that in-house. If we're hired to go, like, let's say to California, we would, for the hotel, actually, if the firm is already arranging hotels accommodations, then they would just add us onto the list, the rooming list. For travel, we usually handle that on our own with the least resistant or least expensive route to get anywhere, and then we build that back at cost to the client.
Okay.
Does that? Yeah.
So the story you were talking about, Jesse, about the call that came in on Christmas Eve and wanted you to be there on New Year's Day in New York City. Please tell me they already had their hotel set up and you didn't have to try to find hotels in New York City over New Year's weekend.
Right. No. Really, what they were looking for specifically was the network setup, the IT portion. So they told us where it was going to be, all that sort of thing. They reached out to us because they wanted printer and copier support as well as secure network. So they reached out to us Christmas Eve, and David got them the quote that same day, and was willing to go out there. Luckily, the case settled, and we didn't have to worry about it. But up until, I guess it was like the 27th, we were planning on going, and then the case settled. So, that's the kind of, that's the nature of the industry is, last minute wants, the last minute needs the urgent. And I guess, because I've worked inside and outside the legal industry in IT, and I'll say for me, I would classify that as the biggest difference between regular IT versus legal IT is that sense of urgency. It's like, we don't need it yet, we're not sure, and then, oh, we need it tomorrow. So that's the level of effort we bring to the table, is we're aware of what the pressure you guys are on, so we make sure that we support that level of effort.
Okay, great. Does anybody else have any questions for these gentlemen? Okay, well then I guess we will go ahead and wrap up. You gentlemen, Jesse and David, thank you so much for being with us and sharing your expertise and the services that you offer. It was good information for all of us, I think. We appreciate you being here. We also want to thank the folks over at Anderson Reporting for providing today's link and recording capabilities. I want to thank all of our members for taking the time out of their day to join us today. And just a couple of reminders of things that are coming up in case you hopped on a couple minutes late. Don't forget, we'll be doing the Statewide Alliance food drive with Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Northwestern Ohio. And the food that PACO collects and the donations that PACO collects will go to the Mid-Ohio Food Bank. Of course, we do still need firms and law firms and legal departments to step up to be collection sites for the non-perishable food items. We'll provide the boxes and the signage. We just ask you to collect the goods. If you would talk to your managing partners and ask if that's something that they would be willing to help us out with, that would be great. And of course, you can get in touch with us at info@pacoparalegals.org. And don't forget the happy hour at Getaway Brewing up in Dublin on February the 8th. That's a Thursday from 6 to 8. It's going to be a great time. we're going to have, I think, some sandwich trays and some veg trays and some snacks like that PACO will be furnishing. And then, of course, don't forget to bring your non-perishable food items to donate to the food drive at that time. And again, the first 10 paralegals that join us that evening with 10 or more non-perishable food items will receive one free drink for the evening. So we hope to see you all there. It's going to be a great time. It's been a while since we've had one of these in-person happy hours, and I can't wait to see everybody. Also want to thank Andy Geiger. Andy is with us today, one of our sustaining members. Glad to have you on the call, Andy. And thank you everyone for joining us, for your time and your attention. And we will go ahead and give you back 15 minutes of your lunch hour. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Jesse and David. Thanks for your time. It's
Thank
great.
you for having us.
Thanks so much.